Thank you, Lloyd, very much for your leadership this morning. Congressman Elijah Cummings, thank you for leading us in this effort. Congresswoman Schakowsky, Congresswoman DeLauro, Congressman Cicilline, and my dear friend Jim McDermott, Congressman Dr. McDermott, and obviously Peter Welch. Thank you. You are all so precious. I guess the advantage of being senior is that you have memory. And my memory is of, if you haven't lost it, not you. My memory is of a former Speaker of this House whose portrait was just taken down, holding the clock open until the wee hours of the morning, denying our ability to pass legislation to have competitive bidding in a free enterprise economy for prescription drugs. And I can remember the arms being twisted, and it was the most painful scene to watch. But that happened here. And it's amazing to me when polling's done across this country, and it's important to restate what others have said, 77% of the American people, regardless of partisanship, believe that the most important health priority we need to address is the rising costs of prescription drugs. That's really an astounding statistic. And all of us know when we go home and we stand somewhere, if 10 people come up to you, you know they're going to be talking to you about the rising cost of prescription drugs. A woman came up to me as I was taking my brother to the hospital for a checkup, and she said, "Congresswoman, I am paying $700 a bottle for gout medicine." She said, and she was not a wealthy woman, by the way, and she said, "I have epilepsy. I have compounding conditions that require me to take a certain type of medication. I simply can't afford it." I said, "What do you do?" She said, "I only take it when I need it." I said, "But with gout that doesn't work, because if you don't take it, you feel worse." But that's the predicament of people that I represent, and she's not alone in that. Dr. J.B. Silvers from Case Western University says the biggest spikes are with specialty drugs that are usually injected, and Jan talked about this in her remarks. He says the ones we've seen lately are existing drugs where somebody else buys the existing drug and then cranks up the price until somebody can come in and compete with them, and that's pure exploitation. Important widely prescribed drugs, including Humulin, RU500 to treat diabetes, and EpiPen for allergic reactions, have increased in price by 200% to 300% since 2007. According to the New York Times, the prices of some generic drugs have soared more than 1,000% in 1 year. And pharmaceutical companies enjoy some of the widest profits and the profit margins in the world, including more profits than the automotive industry. Now, one of the issues that's pending and really hanging in balance in this House right now is the omnibus appropriation bill that is being conferenced. Hopefully we'll be able to get it passed, but it includes an amendment I was able to get included in our bill for 2016. It was passed on June 24th, and it directs the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the VA Secretary to report within 120 days of the bill's enactment with an analysis of prescription drug price increases, to review how the federal government has achieved competitive cost reductions for drugs since 2001. It focuses on the 10 most frequently prescribed drugs and the 10 highest cost drugs under Medicare Parts B and D, Medicare, and the VA. And it asks them to compare those prices to Canada, Mexico, and other countries where appropriate. The analysis can be used to identify possible cost savings through collective bidding and bulk price negotiation. And I want to say that it was accepted by the Republican majority on a bipartisan basis, and one of only 3 amendments proposed by Democrats that were accepted by the Republicans out of a total of 30 that were offered. So, as this bill moves to conference, we want to make sure that language stays in there. We have an opportunity to really help the American people. It's our responsibility to do so, and I am so proud of this task force, and I'm proud to stand with all of you. Thank you.